There was also a book I read called 16th of October 1943, which was written at the time by a guy called Giacomo de Benedetti, published in 1944, so before the war ended, and it was an amalgam of first-hand accounts of that day when the Jews were rounded up. And in it, he has loads of moving little stories in it. There's, for example, a woman who shouts up to her neighbour something like, "Hurry, they're taking everybody, come now." And the neighbour says, "I'm just going to dress the baby and then I'm with you." And she was taken and the other one managed to escape. There's lots of little stories like that which illustrate how the difference between life and death hangs on a thread. And the one that I most remembered, or that haunted me really, was the story of a woman who claims a child, in this case it was a girl child, as her own. But when I reread it, I discovered that this little girl screamed so loudly for her mother that they realised that she wasn't with this woman who'd claimed her, and she was handed back and taken, and all of those children who were taken that day none of them came home. So I had this idea of how would it be if the child hadn't screamed so loudly, or if the person who claimed that child had managed to keep him or her quiet. How would that be? And so that story inspired me, and that's the story I wrote. I wrote about that child that had been saved. And then I realised that it was a complex thing being saved in that situation. It wasn't perhaps something that a child would entirely welcome, being wrenched from their family.